In this Star Wars Outlaws news update video, I will be sharing with you some brand new features and settings that are included in the game. But before we do get into today's news though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates for Outlaws. So, it has been quite some time since we've received any substantial news about the game, well over half a year in fact, and people have been worried about that because when games go silent that sometimes can indicate problems, but we did know at the start of the year that Ubisoft reiterated Star Wars Outlaws would be coming out this year. To be honest, based on what Ubisoft have been doing with their other games, and other publishers as well, I think they are just opting for a shorter marketing cycle until the game gets closer. However, we do actually have a new press release about the game with new stuff, which is very exciting to me, so I can't wait to share that with you, so let's just get straight into it. Ubisoft Massive and Nvidia have just announced they are collaborating on Star Wars Outlaws, and this is great. This is all coming from Nvidia's website. They've released a press release talking about how Star Wars Outlaws will use a bunch of their game-changing features. So here is a quote to kick things off with Tobias Karlsson, who is the technical director on Star Wars Outlaws. This is what he has had to say. Here at Massive Entertainment, world building is a part of our DNA, and what better way to showcase our craft than creating the first ever open world Star Wars game, filled with distinct locations across the galaxy's outer rim, both iconic and new. Players were able to experience the Star Wars underworld like never before. DLSS 3 gives us performance headroom to bring our vision to life, and support additional ray tracing features, helping gamers fully immerse themselves in the adventures of KVS and Nyx. Nvidia have confirmed that on launch day, whenever that will be for Star Wars Outlaws, RTX GPU users will have access to DLSS 3 within the game, which is fantastic, along with DLSS frame generation for 40 series graphics card users specifically. In case you don't know, DLSS is, in my opinion, and other people would agree, one of the greatest advancements in technology when it comes to games in quite some time. It's literally free performance, it can double your frame rates in some cases for effectively the same visual quality. This is also going to be paired with Nvidia Reflex, which is something that I always turn on if a game supports it. This will reduce the system latency in Star Wars Outlaws, so basically, your system latency will affect the time between when actions occur from your button press or mouse click to what happens in game. The lower the latency, the more responsive the game feels, and Nvidia Reflex does this. It decreases the latency and it just makes games feel better. On top of that, Star Wars Outlaws on PC will have RTX direct illumination and ray-traced global illumination lighting. This will mean the game just looks even better. Nvidia say that RTX DI figures out the most important light samples in Star Wars Outlaws to cast physically accurate ray-traced shadows. Performance will remain good apparently due to the innovative design, and on 40 series GPUs ray tracing is even better because of the great ray tracing performance they just have at their disposal. Nvidia say that they will have more to share on the PC technology and features of Star Wars Outlaws closer to the game's release, so be sure to stay tuned. Alongside the press release, Nvidia did release this short trailer showing off gameplay we've already seen before of the game just to advertise these features, so just a reminder that on launch day, whenever Outlaws does release, it will have DLSS, ray tracing and reflex at its disposal to make the game even better, which is just great to hear. Console players, I know what you might be thinking. Who cares about this? I play on console. These are PC specific features. What does this mean for me? Well, if we take a look at Massive's recent game, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, that did have ray tracing on console, and it was done very, very well. It had this awesome ray-traced global illumination solution, and that worked across PS5, Xbox Series X and S. They honestly did such a great job at making that game look phenomenal on the consoles that I do think there will be ray tracing, there will be a quality mode if you want those features coming to Outlaws. I just hope they do confirm it as soon as possible. Even though this game will have DLSS on PC, perhaps they'll include FSR into the console versions. The fact that they are willing to put a lot of care into the PC version, which will be by far the least played version of the game, I do think they will be caring a lot about, say, the PS5 version, which no doubt will be the one that most people play. And of course the Xbox side of things as well, because they are so similar. There is also ray-traced reflections in the Avatar game on console, even though they didn't list anything to do with reflections in the press release from today. I really do hope reflections will be part of Outlaws. In a separate press release, Nvidia have also announced another way to play Star Wars Outlaws on launch day. In case you don't know, Nvidia have a cloud game streaming service called GeForce Now, and it's very good. Most people would say it's not only the best in terms of latency and visual quality, but in terms of feature sets, and you can do some exceptional stuff. They now support high refresh rates. It's really, really awesome what they are doing over there. Well, Nvidia have confirmed on their blog that GeForce Now members will be able to stream Star Wars Outlaws when it comes to the cloud service at launch later this year. So that's right, at day one, you'll be able to stream the game wherever you are, whatever device, as long as you have an internet connection. So if you want to play this gorgeous looking PC version, you will be able to stream it, even if you don't have a 40 series GPU. Now this is fantastic, and this comes off the heels of a fantastic game that Massive put out in terms of a PC version, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Back in December, when it did release, I made a video, among many others, praising just how incredible that PC version is compared to most other games that release these days. Honestly, the standard Massive set with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora on PC should be the bare minimum across the board for games. Most won't take notes and do what they have done, but it filled me with a lot of confidence going in with Star Wars Outlaws before we heard this partnership with Nvidia. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora had a partnership with AMD, and even though these partnerships over the past year or so have come under criticism, from my experience, Nvidia sponsored games tend to be better off. Given that Avatar was fantastic despite being an AMD sponsored game, I really do hope the Massive team that worked on Avatar have shared their learnings with the Outlaws team, and they do develop this incredible PC version, because I just hope it's as good as the Avatar version. This was not the only game that Nvidia talked about today, so it's not like an indication Outlaws is just going to get a full big new reveal this month or something along those lines, but with this being announced now, I think it's entirely possible that, yes, we could see something about Outlaws closer than you may think, even if it is releasing at the end of the year. I would love to hear more news about this game because it has been quiet for some time, but I totally get it what Ubisoft's doing. They really want to nail this with everything they can. They just want to make sure the marketing cycle is good, and short marketing cycles have done decent for various games recently, including things like Jedi Survivor last year that had effectively 3 months of marketing, and it didn't affect it whatsoever. I am super curious as to what other PC features will be included that aren't Nvidia exclusive. Like I said, the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game had so many awesome feature sets to change and tweak. They even included an option that was made to future-proof the game for when hardware becomes better in the future, so I hope Outlaws goes above and beyond like that one compared to the other PC Star Wars games we've had, such as Jedi Survivor, which looks great but has not good performance. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything I've talked about in this video, so please do let me know down in the comment section below. Remember to drop a like to help support the channel, subscribe so you don't miss any future news updates. On Star Wars Outlaws, I cover every single bit of info about this game. Check out any of the previous videos you may have missed by clicking on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.